And we're live.
Hello, God. Folks, I was supposed to host God, but God said, listen, child, I'm on it. And we're actually both live on his stream and my stream today. And before I talk to God, I've asked God to be vengeful and smiteful God. I don't want the nice, cheery God. I want I invoke my wrath and plagues upon thee, God. And look at the face. God has come there with a twitching eye. Because right now we're dealing with an authoritarian force, Donald Trump, who is using and abusing his powers to distract from the Epstein files, and his role in the Epstein files has threatened a federal takeover of Washington, D.C., is openly commanding his reeks to cheat and gerrymander and steal seats. And I feel like, you know what? If the Dems are going to be milquetoast, I need God to step up with some wrath and vengeance, like Samuel L. Jackson from Pulp Fiction. But this is also a loving God, so some loving wrath and vengeance. You know, like a parent who beats his child, but also buys them a toy. God.
Wait, what? I don't beat my child. Whoa! What kind of intro was that? Oh shit!
I'm sorry. God crucifies his child. My bad.
Hey, I'm not the one that did the poking.
That's true. But did you allow it? Did you allow the poking? Folks, we have God here. You know God, you love God. God is in an avatar, a creation, an amazing character, but nonetheless fueled with a righteous rage and a passion for our democracy. And like
thanks,
me,
Waj, you have great character too.
Yeah, I'm okay. I mean, I think you apparently created me, but not in animated form. But God is also one for justice and reform. So I yield the floor to you, God.
Yeah, that's a mouthful. I would say federalize DC. What is this bullshit? This is some false flag fucking. How long they been planning this? And Elon is like. Trump and Elon suddenly united on it's time to federalize DC.
I mean, you know, it's interesting that this came out as a result, and the excuse they're using is
wait, are you telling me that the only thing people can talk about today is big balls?
Yes, there you go.
Big balls getting kicked in the big balls and getting his ass kicked by a 15-year-old. This is like
everyone
that episode
thinks
of The
I'm
Office.
making this up, and they have no idea what I'm talking about. Can you please tell everyone why big balls are responsible?
So one of my things that I've been doing bad is that I'm way too ahead of the curve sometimes. And I think satire and comedy is all about timing, tragedy plus time. So anyway, yeah, I'm just letting a little time to occur for the big balls to settle in. And teabag this is wait. So basically what happened. All right, let me tell you what's up. So what had happened was there's this Doge kid named Big Balls, right? And he's like 22 years old. That's his nickname, Big Balls. And then he's done with Doge, right? But he's still in Washington, and he apparently got his ass whooped real bad, him and this lady that he was with. And they told somebody that he got jumped by or he was racing to save a person from 15 people. And then the police report said what actually happened was he got his ass kicked by two 15-year-olds. And this is like that episode of The Office where Andy got beat up by a 13-year-old girl. And so anyway, so now the right wing is making this into this huge deal. Coordinated. Benny Johnson was talking to one of the lady with all the bruises on her face, and Trump is on it, and Elon. I'm just like, this is fucking fishy, man.
And usually, God, people with big balls, I find that people who have the name Big Balls are usually projecting and actually have tiny balls. Can you please confirm?
Of course, because everything they say is a lie.
And folks, God was not joking about this. Literally, the handle, oh my God, a grown man has a handle of big balls, was part of Elon Musk's Doge incel team, where he got fired, maybe rehired, who knows, total racist. who, along with other Doge teen incels, now has access to your data and also has dismantled the government agency, then probably got beat up by a bunch of kids and had to like save face, as all of them do, because all of them are so insecure and weak. They all project all the time. And then teaming up with Benny Johnson, who's a plagiarist who got fired by BuzzFeed and then took money from Tenet Media, which was a front for Russians, and he says, I had no idea that I was getting Russian talking points. Who, me? I'm sorry. And now they've concocted this as an excuse, which they probably already had the plan all along, to federalize DC. The reality, folks, is that the crime in DC went down. It went down during Biden's last year, and violent crime all across America has gone down, but Donald Trump now, using big balls and his alleged assault, is using it. And just today came out of the Washington Post, he's informing law enforcement to toughen up on crime. But yet all the criminals, if they wanted to escape any accountability, they should just go to the White House, right, God?
It's unbelievable. We're living, this is 1984, but for real, the Ministry of Truth Social is in high action, trying to distract everybody from the Epstein files. They're trying to federalize DC. This is clearly, the fix is in. This is something that he wants, because he's a fascist. He wants to run the district and have his own fiefdom to go with his golden ballroom, where he can have his new White House Teen USA beauty contests and have P. Diddy there with Ghislaine in the wonderful future. That shit is crazy, while simultaneously getting testimony from Ghislaine, from Goody Maxwell, is going to be testifying now against every Democrat. But don't worry about Trump. He doesn't need to be investigated. Never mind about that, because source, trust me, bro.
Yeah, trust me, bro, is the source. And folks who haven't followed, sources say today that Ghislaine Maxwell is saying that Donald Trump did nothing wrong. She did not see Donald Trump do anything wrong. Well, that is just a lot of coincidence there, God, because last week I recall that Todd Blanche, Donald Trump's attorney, who now is the deputy attorney general, met with Ghislaine Maxwell for 2 days in a shroud of secrecy. And after those 2 days, Ghislaine Maxwell's attorneys beseeched both the Supreme Court and Donald Trump for a commutation. And then, God, can you please tell us, because no one else has the answer. So I thought God, the omniscient, all-powerful, all-knowing, would know. Why did the Bureau of Prisons give Ghislaine Maxwell this sweetheart deal where they moved her for no reason whatsoever from Florida to Texas to a minimum security camp, and who at the BOP, the Bureau of Prisons, waived off her sex offender status that allowed her this special treatment? Can you please tell us this? Because no one seems to know why anybody would move Ghislaine Maxwell, and who authorized this.
Who authorized it? Pam Bondi, of course. She's the ultimate law cop, right? Top cop in the country. She gets to this is dictatorship. Oh, did they move a pedophile and convicted one of the world's most notorious historical pedophile child traffickers into a minimum security resort prison? Never mind. Don't worry about it. Doesn't matter, right? Don't pay attention. It's okay. We just got to go. This is unbelievable. I'm so furious. I can't even think. What was your question?
When God gets very furious, a lot of people get smoten. But it seems this time the people who are going to get smoten are unfortunately not the people who are responsible for this destruction, but it's a lot of innocent folks. Because also what we found out yesterday is one of your mistakes, also known as RFK Jr., who is now
they all fuck children. Okay, that's the answer. That's why she got moved. No, really, folks, I'm not kidding, and I'm being serious here, because he fucks kids. All roads lead to Trump fucks children.
You heard it here first, folks. And when it comes to, before I get to RFK, there are records that we saw with our own eyes, evidence, photos, videos of Donald Trump partying with Epstein since the late 80s. We have Donald Trump on record saying he's a great guy. He likes the girls a bit young, though. That was 2002, after their alleged breakup, right? We have reports of him writing a note, kind of a lewd, weird, strange note in the notebook that Glenn Maxwell handed Jeffrey Epstein for his 50th birthday. This is the same Donald Trump, as I was just talking to my co-host Danielle. We know he has a track record of saying the most filthy things about his own daughters, about Tiffany Trump, about Ivanka
by the
Trump.
pussy.
You know, talk about women, grabbing by the pee. He's a convicted criminal, a man who's been liable for sexual assault and defamation. And we also found out from the Wall Street Journal that in May, Pam Bondi, his attorney general that you talked about, the top cop in the nation, informed him, God, that he is in the files. And that's what we also found out. As CBS News says, they have a source that Donald Trump and Pam Bondi actually have the unedited videotape of Jeffrey Epstein's suicide. And furthermore, CBS confirmed the reporting of others that the FBI was instructed to redact Trump's name. So it seems to me,
wait,
God,
what? They have video of the suicide?
What's that?
They have actual video of this alleged suicide?
They have the unedited videotape of the alleged suicide.
They had a camera in there, so I didn't know that was even on the table.
So yeah, so what they have on the table is what Pam Bondi said is we've seen what Pam Bondi and Kash Patel, for those who don't know, I know there's a lot. Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, others said we've seen the tape, nothing to see here. Epstein committed suicide. Move on. But then they said, well, there's a minute missing from the tape. But then Wired said,
wait a minute, it's 3 minutes.
Yeah, Wired said it's 2 minutes and 50 seconds missing. And then just last week, Daily Beast said there's a mysterious third figure in the video in orange. And then CBS says they have a government source that says that the unedited tape, which means it has the full, either the missing minute or missing 2 minutes and 50 seconds, is in possession of the DOJ and Attorney General. So to me, and I've used this word openly now twice, it seems clear that the Trump administration is engaging in a cover-up since May and has openly lied to the American public. God, your take.
I totally agree with you. You're a great journalist. You're right on top of it there, Waj. I mean, you don't have to be Sherlock Holmes. Okay? You don't have to be, you know, this is the only, this isn't complicated. A 5-year-old can connect the dots. They just don't want to, because the conclusion is that Trump fucks children. I think that it's super obvious when he came out and admitted that, A, he knows who Virginia Giuffre is, and that she was trafficked out of Mar-a-Lago, and then the response from her family was that she always wondered if that had happened, and he just straight out came out and admitted it, and almost as a testament to that strategy, that cop a plea, deflate, get ahead of it type of strategy. I'm a little worried that the Epstein scandal is starting to die down. Am I to tell me that I'm wrong? Walk me off this ledge, Wash.
God, you can go back to your throne. I do not think that you have to walk off the ledge, because I believe that the Epstein file, thanks to MAGA's own base, right? They've radicalized their own base for the past 10 years with the QAnon conspiracy. I think there's some beautiful, delicious, perverse irony here that Donald Trump is the one that promoted the Epstein files, which he now calls a hoax, by the way, folks. He's the one, and Kash Patel and Dan Bongino promoted the QAnon deep state conspiracy because they told their base there's only one person who can come in and clean house and reveal the huge conspiracy, and that was Donald Trump. So he gets in power, and voila, as you have said before, he's all over these files. He's been doing some dirty, dirty, dirty things publicly and privately. And of course, he does not want these files released. So they've been trying to now placate their own base and say, nothing to see here. It's like that Leslie Nielsen
Which
meme.
is, I've used that one in my articles. I've used that. I always put a GIF at the top of my posts, and I've definitely used that one. Yeah. It's because they're the dumbest motherfuckers alive. Because if they're trying to make this go away, they're not doing a very good job of it, which is why they need to have a special dinner with J.D. Vance.
Can you please tell us, because you have advanced foresight and knowledge, not everyone knows about this dinner that J.D. Vance, the vice president, is planning at his house, this strategic dinner with high-level Trumpers.
I think it's true that there is inevitably the next evil motherfucker wants to take control, the next Sith Lord in line, and the moderate Republicans want to take back their party, or at least the lie that they're any different from Trump. They want to put the mask back on, and this is all part of that. Trump, let me ask you this: is Trump going to be there?
I think Trump is still on the roof. Before we move on, God, why was Trump on the roof? No one knows.
We had great fun yesterday watching that clip, and then bouncing between that and Michael Scott on the roof in the office. Oh my life, Dwight, you ignorant slut. Yeah, it's why? Because he's trying to distract from the Epstein files, of course. All roads lead back to this existential Epstein threat. Epstein economy. Can we get a third E to throw in there? I think Epstein and economy might be enough.
So that's all you need, Epstein and economy. And, speaking about Epstein, and you said something, God, that I've been saying, is that there's enough people within the Republican Party, some existing Sith Lords who refuse to die, the Palpatine, Rupert Murdoch, being one of them.
Skeksis. It's like Dark Crystal,
Yeah, just two nerd references and one. Well
Gets
done,
all my
bud.
references. Yeah.
And you see him, and folks, just to connect the dots, when the first Wall Street Journal article dropped, which kind of blew this all wide open, you saw reports of Rupert Murdoch secretly meeting Jeffrey Epstein. JD Vance. JD Vance. Maybe I meant JD Vance. JD Vance.
Oh, that was total Succession type of meeting in the woods.
So what do you think about that? Because JD Vance met with him, and then the next day they dropped this.
Was it the next day? I think it was like a month apart.
You know better.
Well, yeah, the news it happens so fast. It's intentionally meant, like Nemec says, to overwhelm us. I mean, Marjorie Taylor Greene is done with the GOP. The QAnon shaman is done. You just can't. There's not enough crazy sentences about the actual things that are happening that you can get out. But that thing was a meeting in the forest. What does that tell you right off the bat? Why? Why do you think it was in the forest?
For transparency.
Yeah, because when you get into a forest, nobody can listen from far away. That's what they always did in Succession. Okay, they have their secret meetings in a forest, on a mountain, because high stakes. They need a place where no one can listen. I think, of course, the Peter Thiel tech fascist wing wants to enact their takeover to ensure their future, and they are not going to trust it to Donald Trump. Okay, the powers that be, the real power in the world, is the money men, and Trump is afraid of them. He's afraid of Jerome Powell. Okay, he keeps saying he's going to fire him, but anyway.
And can you remind Donald Trump that he was the one who appointed him, because he seems to forget?
No one can remind him of anything. This man still doesn't understand how tariffs work.
Or how windmills work.
He's just, I don't like it, so it's bad. How's it all going to end? I don't know, but I'm proud of the people that are fighting back.
I am worried also about the broligarchy, because people don't know that and you mentioned one of the worst supervillains and Sith Lords, Peter Thiel, a gay white nationalist who believes, like with Elon Musk, that democracy is incompatible with capitalism, and believes that somehow he will live forever as some transhumanist android on Mars. He has been the groomer, if you will, of JD Vance from the beginning. I think the only person who's actually ever given money to JD Vance or actually invested in him has been Peter Thiel. And Peter Thiel and the broligarchy were the ones who hand delivered JD Vance to Donald Trump. Like Donald Trump and JD Vance weren't friends. They weren't in each other's orbit. And that was the kind of quid pro quo that was happening in front of our face, that they're like, all right, we'll invest in you, but you got to take our guy, JD Vance.
Right.
Where I feel some comfort, God, is that JD Vance, despite all the best efforts of MAGA to rehabilitate him and to make him into an alpha man.
He fucks couches. Yeah, I mean, it's a hell of a sight better than fucking children.
And so he's a nerd. He's a dweeb. He's a dork. Did you see him run when he tried to run in California, where he was vacationing? You know, that hellhole California that he vacationed with his family in Disneyland.
I know he's a defeatable boss. Right.
But he's not a Sith Lord. The Sith Lords are the Murdochs and the broligarchy, the Musks, the Ellisons.
Right, he's just a puppet. Yeah.
And this is where I want to, because you mentioned the economy, the two weaknesses of Trump. I agree with you. Epstein is one, which I agree that is his kryptonite. Thank you for creating that kryptonite of Donald Trump. It took us a long time to figure out, but we finally found it. The other one is the economy, where the economy is looking no bueno. In fact, it's looking so no bueno that Donald Trump was forced to fire the commissioner of Bureau of Labor Statistics because he didn't like the numbers that the BLS put out that showed that job growth was very low.
He wasn't forced to.
That was me being very, if you will, I wanted to put a quotation mark there.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because sometimes I hear that on TV. I'm like, forced to.
No, he did, like a fascist.
Sometimes I find myself. He didn't have to do it, but he fucking did it, didn't he? And then he doubles down, and they're like, no, because the numbers went down. This is some North Korea shit. Even North Korea is blushing. I mean, wow. He got Stephen Colbert fired.
Yep.
He fired a lady for doing her job and reporting numbers.
Yep.
Is he going to fire everybody else in that department and replace them all with Sean Duffy, Fox News? He's now working on getting Gayle King fired.
And also Howard Stern. Did you see today? They're
every day is a new fresh blood, huh?
Howard Stern, apparently Sirius is not going to renew his contract, and the right wing is saying woke is dead and go woke, go broke, even though Howard Stern made 110 million. And they're saying the move by Sirius to apparently not renew his contract is not to do with finances, much like Colbert. It has to do with politics. Your take on that?
Let me ask you this. When it comes to Sirius XM, is Skydance involved?
I don't know. I know Skydance is involved with Paramount, and that merger already happened because Paramount bent the knee to Donald Trump, bribed him for a bullshit lawsuit that he brought, which they should have fought and won, has already interfered with 60 Minutes, has already interfered with CBS News. Larry Ellison's son's going to come in and take over, has promised lots of cuts. But guess who's going to give a huge multi-million-dollar contract to be the ombudsman of CBS? You want to take a guess, God?
Sorry, I was just trying to look up the whole thing with Skydance. I was just associating there for a second. Is that rude?
No, God is allowed to disassociate. There's so much chaos that even God just has to go to a happy place once in a while.
Okay, so the person that owns SiriusXM is Liberty Media, which is owned by a libertarian. Anyway, a libertarian billionaire. What you were just saying, your question was, I'm sorry,
Sirius,
that's how I do it with Jesus.
Sirius is also the one that gave a obscene contract, was it Sirius or was it Spotify for Spotify. Joe Rogan? Yeah. So it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. The president is able to lean on anybody, especially once a precedent is set where they see Paramount and Skydance bowing to this. He can lean on anyone now. They'll just do it just to get him off their backs.
And also universities, Brown University, Harvard University, Columbia University. But the person who's coming in for some ombudsman to make sure that CBS stays neutral and apparently is perfectly fine with Palestinian children being starved to death is Barry Weiss of the Free Press.
Holy fucking shit. So that's the because now they're going to do a review of all CBS things for left wing ideology, right?
Yep. Yep. And also mainly because Larry Ellison and his son are hardcore Zionists and also part of the broligarchy, and they need Barry Weiss and the Free Press to give them cover for their support of Israel's genocide. And Barry will be a willing.
So they're turning CBS into another Newsmax, Fox News before our very eyes.
Correct. It's happening right now as we speak.
What the fuck is gonna happen, bro?
Why are you? The fact that God is asking me gives me heart palpitations. I want to ask you what's going to happen, because
I mean, free will is really a scary thing, isn't it? It's starting to get real bad.
Maybe Lucifer had a point.
I didn't think that humans were going to be this dumb. Okay, 54% read below a 5th grade level. 70% can't find Pacific Ocean on a map. Well, that was in 2002. The last year data was available on that statistic. They've been defunding education. Defund the police, bad. Defund education, totally fine, apparently. Destroy the Department of Education, and it's not looking good. I like the people doing those overpass message things. You've seen those?
I have. There's one in Virginia right now. Every time I pass by it, I give them a honk. It's been increasing. It started with only 2-3 people here in Virginia, and now there's about 25, which is somewhat encouraging.
I actually am scheduled. Watch, you're so good at scheduling guests, but I'm not so good at it. But I did get in touch with the people in charge of the the overpass action.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have a national director and the local Utah brigade team leader on the God Pod soon.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so I can we want to grow their ranks and spread this widely. I can send them to you as well, because this is what you talk about. Andor, man, the rebellion is everywhere. People are doing random acts of insurrection. It is just he's about
without
to do
the
that
head or limbs, but I'm going to add to it.
He's about to do that scene. Would you mind not pointing the gun at me? And I just think it's a beautiful thing, because it's free speech in action, and you got to win at some point the culture war or the court of public opinion. I don't know. The only reason that anybody's talking about Epstein at all is because a few MAGA people are like, "What the fuck?"
There you go.
And let me ask you this. I guess I haven't checked X or a while, in a minute. Are they still mad, or are they like magically moved on by and large?
They have not, and this is the weakness of Donald Trump, because every single move that they try, the Charlie Kirks and the Mark Levin.
Yeah, who do I check in on to get a temperature? Charlie Kirk.
Charlie Kirk is the establishment MAGA temperature check.
Because there was one week and they were all talking shit, and then he came in on a Monday. He was like, "I'm not going to talk about it anymore." And then there was such a blowback that the next day he was like, "I actually meant this yesterday."
So what you get is, with Charlie Kirk and Mark Levin and still much of Fox, you get the where the MAGA spin is trying to go. But with the Tucker Carlsons and the Marjorie Taylor Greens and the Nazi Nick Fuentes is where the base is. And the base has been radicalized on this issue. And the base says, "Give me the files." And the base does not believe that Ghislaine Maxwell should have been transferred. And the base is not buying the distraction of Obama all of a sudden doctoring up files on the bipartisan report released by Senate Republicans, such as Marco Rubio, that said that Russia did interfere in the 2016 election.
Right. And I guess it's just the nature of my pessimism or cynicism, or I'm like Clea, and the best you're gonna get out of me in reality is that little half a squirmy smile. Someday, yeah. Someday,
I think I smiled too much.
The most beautiful smile I've ever seen. Yeah, I think that it ain't gonna go away.
It ain't.
Have you seen this folk song that just came out?
No.
All right, let me send it to you in chat. I don't think that you watch videos on your stream, but we can if you want to.
Let's do it. It's your stream. I think you can do it.
I can do it. All right. We've been playing this round the clock. I woke up this morning singing it. This is gonna cheer you up. The new theme song of the rebellion. Here it is, my friend.
In a sleazy kind of way. You don't want us to have a look on a presidential day.
It ain't gonna go away. It ain't gonna go away. Those Epstein-Files gonna bite your butt, and it ain't gonna go away. It goes on for another 2 minutes.
It's awesome, but it made me happy. That was great. That you know what? But you mentioned, for those who don't know who are joining us a bit late, God is a huge Star Wars nerd, a huge fan of Andor, and God and I, when we first talked on his great podcast, and thanks for the almost 700 people joining us. You have to subscribe to God's podcast and God's Substack. We talked about our mutual adoration for Andor and how it is a great pop cultural testament to being against fascism and authoritarianism. And what Andor shows is that regular people, average Jose's and Joes and Janes who do not have superpowers, who aren't tapped into the Force, who don't have lightsabers, each one of them has a role. Each one of them has a role to play in combating fascism and authoritarian regime and taking out the Sith Lords. And with each role comes a certain sacrifice. And what you're seeing is the smallest person does something to help the rebellion, right? Whether it's Nemec, a young man who writes his beautiful manifesto, and even though he gets martyred, the manifesto spreads. Or it's Andor, who then becomes radicalized in prison and joins the resistance, and is great at being a spy and also, stealing things. There's all these individuals who do something. Mon Mothma, who is I wish we had more senators like Mon, right? Who uses her privileged platform.
Yeah, is there anyone that's an actual Mon?
Anyone.
Do we have anyone, Mon? Wow. Doesn't seem like we do.
But anyone, can we get a Mon Mothma who calls out a genocide in real time, doesn't mince words, and so I think it's important. What you just showed is that you see average Americans coming together, diverse Americans who are coming up with songs. You see pop culture fighting back. You see South Park after getting a record $1.5 billion amazing guaranteed money deal from the same Paramount that has shamefully bent the knee. Just took on Donald Trump, showed him with a small penis. And did you see yesterday how they mocked ICE?
Yeah, tonight is going to be an episode about ICE. I can't wait. I am so proud of those guys. Finally, I always like Luke believing Darth Vader could turn. I've always been telling him, you can do this. You don't have to both sides it. You can do this, guys. You can be as crazy as I am. And they're doing it. And I love it because it's in a comedy way it's about punching up.
Yep.
Okay? You have that power, you have a duty to wield that power responsibly. And I think they had to wait until they assured they signed this deal, and then boom, it was on. And I think in the past in one episode they depicted Trump as like just a duck that was quacking. There's reasons. Things happen that people don't know about behind the scenes. And you're right. We all have a role to play in this rebellion. Apparently, my role is that of God, which is fucking weird. I am a huge Andor fan. We're breathing this shit. I actually have. Nemec himself was at a protest for Gaza.
Wow.
And he speaks about this. Would you like to hear that?
Yes,
I don't know
please.
if you've seen this. I'll just pull it up. Share this tab instead.
Even God has buffering problems.
To protest the forced starvation of the Palestinian people that's happening in Gaza right now. We're outside Downing Street. to protest to Keir Starmer and David Lammy, to force them to take action and to prevent the unnecessary, violent, cruel deaths of Palestinian people in Gaza every day. There needs to be more aid coming in to Gaza. It needs to be driven in, not just parachuted in. And this, the violence of Israel against the Palestinian people has to end. There's no more to say. Action has to be taken. What is inspiring is that, like, every day it feels like the feeling of, at least the people in London, the people in Britain, there's a feeling of a collective outrage that is just growing more and more every day. And so there is something really moving to be here among so many people, and it will only continue to grow.
Exactly.
That's awesome. I did not see that. That's Nemec, the actor who played Nemec, who inspires in part a rebellion with an amazing message. Nemec's message. I recommend everyone watch it. The clip on Andor. The actor himself is vocal, and also I've noticed, God, I don't know if you're, I know you're a fan, so Denise, I know you know this.
Denise
but
also, yeah.
You read my mind. Denise Goff, who played one of the most despicable villains, and it was a testament to what a good actress she is, because she plays this character called Dedra Miro, who is a dyed-in-the-wool Nazi, like born and raised, and she is like Eichmann on steroids. Even the way she makes her face in the show is one of evil, but the actress who plays her is like the literal complete opposite, who openly says, you know, oftentimes when it comes to actors, they say, oh, I try to humanize.
She's delightful.
Yeah. She goes, she's delightful. She's sweet. She's smart. And she goes, you know, oftentimes people say, I don't want to judge the character I play. And she openly says, no, I'll judge her. She's a fascist. She's a terrible person.
Yeah.
And she's used her platform, especially in season 2, to speak out against the genocide. So like the Andor cast, man.
It's beautiful. And I think it's had an effect even on people that weren't political beforehand. Adrian Arjona, who plays Bix, was saying, you know, that this has had a profound effect on her, you know, who she is now and what she believes. And that's the kind of, it's almost, it's like a religion. Watch, we're starting with, you know, Andorism. Anyway.
God, for those who don't know, before we join on, told me that he spends his free time on the 7th day when he rests, building Lego Star Wars sets. So that we have that in common. As you can see, I have the Razor.
My favorite new set is the U-Wing.
Oh,
it just came out this year. Yeah, so cool.
And I already built that, and I have that. I'm going to have that up. The final question I want to ask you, God, and thanks for the 700 people who have joined. I'm glad we finally got this going. This is me and God. God is a fantastic service. The animation is great, but the content is even better. 2 final questions. One quick question. Democrats can't say it, but I think God can. I believe we're witnessing Israel commit a genocide in Gaza right now. What does God say?
Oh, 100%. That's been true the whole time, like for a long time. In the same way that it's been true for a long time that Donald Trump is a pedophile, like we've known the whole time. But there's truth and lies, and there's things that you're not allowed to say because the powers, the people with the money don't want you to say it. And
Amen.
So, yeah, that word has been banished to the point where they banned TikTok because the kids were telling the truth too much. And now there are many of my friends are getting banned. Walter Masterson, I think, is close to getting banned because you're not allowed to use the word pedophile on TikTok.
I wonder why. Why.
About Donald Trump. I'm sure you can use it about, you know, Democrats.
And for my final question, I'm invoking God to go from a wrathful, spiteful, vengeful God to liberal Joe Rogan God. The Democrats need a liberal Joe Rogan. They're spending millions of dollars. So I'm hoping I can tap into liberal Joe Rogan God with the buff. Liberal Joe Rogan God. There you are.
What's up, bruh?
Finally. Oh,
What's up,
thank
bro?
God.
Let's talk about football.
We had to talk about UFC
Which team is your
creation.
favorite?
Look at liberal Joe Rogan God, jacked up, eating creatine, working out on those calf muscles.
Which one of the which is your favorite football squadron?
49ers.
49ers, nice.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. The biceps. All right. I like it. All right. Look at that. Deltoid.
Yeah.
I mean, this is
49ers. Is this their year?
this is their year. I feel
Brock
like
Purdy's got a baby now.
yeah. So we got to talk about football. We got to talk about.
Hold on, let me just get stoned.
Oh, there you go. We got to get
Joe
stoned.
Rogan. Wait, why
need-
do we need a liberal Joe Rogan again?
We don't. It's all bullshit. But apparently, centrist Democrats and their corporate donors say we need a. There you go. There you go. He's stoned. And then you have to be against vaccines, also, liberal Joe Rogan.
Yeah, well, I think what they've got it now. Minus touch is if you're just going off of numbers. If what that really means is something about numbers, bruh, then those boys did it. You know?
The question I have for the liberal Joe Rogan, my final question is, we've talked about pop culture a lot, but pop culture represents a growing shift away from Trumpism. And I know, many comedian friends, many of them who are not your friends, but people who rode the Joe Rogan manosphere for the sake of money, who rode the cruelty for the sake of money, who punched down against trans people, those people who are mentally
Joe
challenged.
Rogan, if we're going off of Superman Bizarro rules, Waj, that's what my mind goes to. It's not like it's, we need a cool idiot who is anti-vax. He's just the complete opposite, like me, like a democratic socialist, God loves gays, billboard overpass, Andor, just dyed in the wool, radicalized leftist. That is, if we're going by that, hey, I'm your God.
Look,
but
it's liberal Joe Rogan, guys. It's liberal God. Who needs liberal Joe Rogan? when
first
you have
of all,
liberal God?
I, like any good leftist, find the word liberal offensive. How dare you call me that? That evokes things that I don't like. But yeah, we're having too much fun. We've gone over.
No, but, I appreciate. I wanted to ask you this question as a leftist liberal Joe Rogan God who placates the fears of corporate centrist Democrats, but also is on the right side.
Do I placate the fears of corporate centrist Democrats?
Well, with your muscles right now, you do.
Well, here's the thing. You're allowed to be a leftist and also still love your faith and your country. You know what I'm saying, bro?
And UFC and beer.
And football and UFC. And, we want to win this culture war. Yeah, I like all that shit.
Yeah, that's the
I like watching the car races, but not because I want to see who wins. I want to see who crashes.
This is
America.
This is a manly God. This is the Democrat God. He's manly. He doesn't abide.
Yeah, I'm opposed. I do see what you're saying, though. It's so lame.
But we're having
the way that they're like posting selfies from the gym.
It's I'm not making this up, folks. At least it's Slotnick.
Listen, all that would be fine if they weren't total corporate shill compromised. That's the thing. At the end of the day, be who you are, come as you are, but just stop lying about the fact that you're totally owned by your lobbyists. Can you just
maybe you can flex against your corporate donors and flex against AIPAC? Can
you just admit that your business model is that you do whatever the fuck they tell you to? Can you just admit it? Just one time, like we can admit that Trump fucks children and there's a genocide going on in Gaza.
Inshallah, hopefully. But
the truth may be spoken.
I want to ask you about this. Mark Maron, who has a new comedy special.
I gotta watch it. Oh,
but in all of his interviews, he is openly calling out the Joe Rogan manosphere as hacks.
I saw a clip. It is so fucking good. Theo Von, first of all,
And the
Mark
Theo
Maron
Von
has
clip.
always been like one of my favorite, but this is his best special. The fact that he's speaking on this shit, the Theo Von clip is so good. I know you got to go.
No, show me for those who haven't seen it, because I'm so glad that the culture is shifting in real time.
Yeah. Mark Maron.
It's so good. It's such a good impression.
I'm sorry. I just remembered. Sorry. Oh man. Sometimes I laugh. I laugh a little too hard. Let me pull it up. Nope. There we go. All right. Sorry. It takes a little second.
It's all right.
Were alive today, he'd probably appear on Theo Von's podcast. I think if Hitler were alive today, he'd probably appear on Theo Von's podcast. And Theo would be like, "See, y'all did a lot of meth, right? I mean, all the Nazis were all fucked up on meth, right, Hitler? That
Right,
shit'll
Hitler?
make you crazy, dog."
Hey,
I
Hitler.
did some meth once. I was up for 3 days, and then I ate a live bird. No shit, Hitler, a live bird, bro. Hey, Hitler, you probably didn't even hate the Jews. That was just the meth making you crazy, dog. Hey, Hitler. Do you want to apologize to all the Jews right now on my show? No? I get it.
It's so good. It's so
I
good.
get it. I get it.
He's been roasting them, folks. He has taken this opportunity to roast the Rogan sphere, finally calling these people out. And I don't know if you all are seeing that they're losing viewers. Their own viewers are calling them out. These are men who were perfectly fine co-signing Donald Trump's cruelty.
Really? They're losing viewers?
Yeah, Joe Rogan went from #1 to #4. And Midas Touch replaced him. Andrew Schultz's own people are calling him out for being a buffoon. The Nelk Boys just got roasted because the Nelk Boys hosted Benjamin Netanyahu, and people are like,
I don't even know who that is, and I don't want to know.
They were thanked publicly by UFC President Dana White on election night for helping Donald Trump win. Rogan, Theo Von, and the Nelk Boys. So the fact that they're being called out as hacks, I love this. This to me makes me so happy, God, that they're being called out like the hacks that they were.
It's something that sticks when you're a hack. That's like being a pedophile, like the president. It just sticks. It ain't going away.
I didn't say it. That was God. Folks, this was the first time we ever did this. I hope you all enjoyed it. There were about 800 people. Always enjoy talking to God. He was a guest this time on my Substack. Last time we had a great conversation about Andor, because God is a huge Andor fan and a fan of progressive politics and of the resistance. And especially God supports anyone who resists fascists and fascism. That includes comedians, teachers, people on the ground, activists, moms and dads. Folks, we're dealing with a fascist president. I didn't call him a pedophile, but God did, who was really close with Jeffrey Epstein, who right now, as we're speaking, is engaged in a cover-up of the Epstein scandal. He's 79 years old. He has cankles. It's clear that he's deteriorating. His economic policies are terrible. And folks, and there's a genocide happening in Gaza right now, and God is actually calling it out and actually asking Democrats to call it out for what it is, a genocide. And maybe, just maybe, the United States could stop funding it and arming it, and we could have peace and justice. For those, the 800 folks who joined us late, we're going to have this up on our Substacks tonight. God, I give you the final word.
Bless Wajhat Ali. Bless you, hardest working man on Substack. And he's the Left Hook. What a great title. What a great name for a thing. Good job on that. Thank you for having me on. Let's do it again. I could do this. I could do this all day.
24/7 till the end of time. Let's do it again. It's fantastic. Thank you all for watching. And whenever God ends this stream, we'll be finished.
Oh, okay. Yeah, duh. Okay, there you go. Bye, everybody.